Hey everybody, how are you? This is my second YouTube video in 1 week, actually in 2 days. But I had a good day today with a lot to talk about, and so I thought I'd do a short video instead of writing a bunch of stuff on Facebook and posting pictures. So I will definitely be posting pictures, but I just wanted to tell you about my day, which was really awesome. So after the extravaganza of Halloween last night, everybody is kind of worn out and just decided to go their separate ways this weekend. So there wasn't any big plans, no parties or gatherings, and I had kind of already decided that I wanted to go check out the fall foliage at one of Nanjing's big tourist attractions, and so I had an adventure today, and it was really good. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. If you haven't seen the video that I posted yesterday of the campus walkthrough with all the decorations, definitely check it out. I know I posted a bunch of pictures, but the video will also kind of give you a little glimpse of the campus, and it was so funny. The teachers got off the bus in the morning and everybody was walking around videotaping. It was really entertaining, but it was such a great day yesterday, and I'm really tired, but today was a good day. So everything up until this point I have done has been within a 15-minute walk of my apartment. If you come out of my complex and go left, there is a little strip mall. That's where the Mexican cantina is. There's a little grocery store that sells nothing but Western products. I was able to get some Kraft macaroni and cheese. They sell all kinds of Doritos and all kinds of things. And then there's a nice quiet little restaurant bar that my coworker and I discovered last night because the cantina was closed for a party and we really wanted to drink. If you go right out of my complex and then turn left at the next block and walk about 15 minutes, that's where the mall is, the McDonald's, Starbucks, Domino's Pizza, KFC, the grocery store, and then across the street from the grocery store is another bar restaurant called Potato. That is a pretty big expat hangout. But all of those things are within a 15-minute walk of my apartment, and so I am decided to go a little bit further today. It's easy to get around if you got here before a certain time. There is a Chinese version of Uber called Didi that apparently was doing some not nice things with people's personal information, and so the Chinese government said, okay, in order to punish you, you can no longer accept new accounts. So I'm not sure how much that hurts Didi, but it certainly hurts those of us who arrived a little bit later, so we can't get this app. The best thing about it was all in English, and now we have to kind of try to translate if we want to get a taxi, which I haven't tried to do on my own yet, but I'm going to have to because there's one COVID test that I have to get in a couple weeks where I have to go by myself. So anyway, today I got on the metro for the first time, and the closest station is about a 10-minute walk from the apartment, and so I knew ahead of time exactly where the station was, what station I was trying to get off at, and all the directions to where I needed to go. And so the metro stations here are immaculate. The trains are immaculate. They have signs everywhere with little blinking dots showing you where you're getting off. They even have lights that light up to tell you which door to get out of. So the metro here is very easy to use, very user friendly. So I knew that once I got off at my right station, I exited out door number 1, walked north 15 minutes, and I was supposed to be where I was trying to get to. And I walked for about 10 minutes and just for some reason decided I need to check Google Maps to make sure I'm going in the right direction, which it was a good thing I did because I had actually passed where I was supposed to turn, not by a lot, but I had to turn around and go back the other way and down under an overpass, and then there it was. So the place that I went today was called Purple Mountain. It's a baby mountain. It's only about 1,500 feet high, but it's the major recreation area for Nanjing. There's so much to do and see. There has been people living in the area of Purple Mountain since like 500 BC. So it's an ancient area. There's a lot of emperor tombs and tombs of people that were bigwigs in the past dynasties. Sun Yat-sen's tomb is there, which is probably the #1 tourist attraction in Nanjing for the Chinese people. But there's just so much to see and do. But I wanted to go to one particular place, namely to check out the fall foliage scene. So I finally got to the area. And there were just people everywhere, but it's just like a huge park, and people were out enjoying the weather. It was a beautiful day. One funny thing that I saw, now camping is not a thing here, overnight camping, weekend camping like we're used to, but there were tents everywhere, and people had, like, some families had little picnics outside of their tent. Some families were just sitting inside the tent. But people, like, instead of, and we're talking like camping tents, not the canopy tents. So it was funny to see. I mean, there were hundreds out there with just families sitting in them and just chilling in the beautiful weather. So it was kind of interesting to see that. There were kites being flown, even though it wasn't really a good day for it. And I stumbled across a tug-of-war competition. I don't know really what it was about. It might have been a military thing because the guy who was doing all the announcing was in camo. But I sat and watched that for a little bit, and that was pretty funny. And so made my way up to the particular area that I wanted to go to today, which was this pagoda. I wanted to go up to the top of the pagoda to see if there were any leaves or anything to see, which there weren't, but it's okay. So when I got to the area that I wanted to get to, there was a gate where you needed a ticket. And so, it's hard to navigate websites here because of the language barrier. And so I had tried to do it on my own. I kept getting this pop-up in Chinese. And when I hit the button, it just took me to another page that was all in Chinese that I couldn't figure out. So I knew I needed help. And so most young people here know some English. So I kind of stood there and looked around and waited until I saw somebody who I felt comfortable approaching. And so I finally saw this girl, probably in her late teens or early 20s, coming over to the ticket place. And so I was able to ask her in Chinese if she spoke English, which is Ni wei shou yingyu ma. And she understood me. She said yes, a little. And so she was able to help me navigate the webpage to get my ticket. And so once she pointed me in the right direction, I was able to get my ticket and move on. But I spoke to somebody in Chinese and they understood what I said, which was very, very exciting. So I wandered up through this scenic area, which was really beautiful, just a forest, and got to this pagoda and got up. I think I went up 3 levels and looked outside and realized there weren't really any trees changing color. It hasn't been cold enough at night, I guess, for it to really pop yet. So I'm going to come back in a few weeks. But I got out and got to it, which was a big deal. On my way back, I stopped at a Buddhist temple. It's called Buddhist Linggu Temple, and it is amazing. Wait till you see the pictures of this place. There were just like these huge Buddhas and all of these different deities that people were praying to, and it was really amazing. And apparently it's one of the most important Buddhist temples in the world. But it was gorgeous. There were like places where you could burn incense. There were like these prayer ribbons tied to trees, and it was really, really amazing. And a lot of the people there were tourists, but there were people that were coming there to do their worship or whatever. But it was really cool. And so I knew that there was some kind of restaurant in this general area that was a vegetarian restaurant. I think it was connected to the Buddhist temple, but I ended up going to the wrong one. And I had my Google Translate and was looking at the menu, and Google Translate sometimes does a good job of translating, sometimes it doesn't. And so there were all kinds of weird things on the menu, and I was just like, I just want to get something. I was hungry, and it was almost noon. So I picked osmanthus lotus root. And I don't even know how to describe it. I guess, you know what a lotus flower is. So a lotus root, I guess, is the bottom part, where the flower grows out of. And it's considered a vegetable. And it's made with rice, and like this osmanthus is like this flower that grows on a tree. And so they make like this syrup that they put on the lotus root. They call it honey, but it's not as sweet as honey. So I took a chance. It was only $5. So I ordered osmanthus lotus root, and it was actually pretty good. I'm excited for you guys to see the picture because you'll just be like, what is that? But I tried it, and it was good. The only thing I could think of to compare it even minutely is like if you had room temperature cantaloupe. Room temperature cantaloupe or honeydew melon, we cut it into cubes, or it gets, you can buy it in the store in cubes, but this was very thinly sliced. So if you took like a room temperature cantaloupe and you sliced it in like half inch slices, that's as close as I can get to describing what this thing tasted like. It wasn't quite as sweet, and it had a little bit of rice in it, but it was good. It was good. So I was really proud of myself for ordering something completely Chinese, and I lucked out in that it was very edible, and if I saw it on a menu at a restaurant in the future, I would probably get it again. So that was very exciting. So I made my way back down to the exit of this park, and once I got out of the gate again, there were all these little shops that were selling snacks, and so I decided to get some ice cream, and so I pulled the ice cream out of the little freezer, and the lady comes up to me and she says, "Chi kwai," and I understood what that meant because I know my number, so it's 7 kwai, and so I was able to pay the correct amount, and I didn't have to ask or look it up. I knew exactly what she said. So I had 2 big successes today in that I spoke Chinese to somebody and they understood what I said, and somebody spoke Chinese to me that wasn't hello or thank you, and I understood exactly what she said. She wanted 7 kwai, and so I was able to pay for my ice cream, which was very exciting. And then the final thing, coming back, I was walking along the street, headed back to the exit of the park to get to the metro station, and there was this cute little boy, probably 3 years old, ahead of me at the curb, and I turned my head to look at something over here, and when I turned back, little boy had dropped his pants and was peeing right on the road. So I think I have ticked most of the Chinese behavior stereotypes. So you have kids dropping trowel and peeing wherever they want to. You have people cutting in line. I've had that happen to me a couple times, whatever. And people spitting on the ground. Luckily, that last one, there's not any of them. I haven't seen it on a regular basis. It's only been 1 or 2 instances of the spitting and the cutting in line, but it is a thing here, and anywhere you're around a lot of people, you're probably gonna come across it. And so I successfully made my way back to the metro station and got back to my apartment. I made a pit stop at the grocery store for a bottle of wine, which I'm going to enjoy tonight. But I had a very good day. It was my first solo adventure out in China, and I made it there and back and didn't get lost, and was able to communicate without help, a little bit. So it was a good day. So hopefully you enjoyed the Halloween pictures that I posted. Y'all, I just don't see how they're gonna top it next year. Apparently the Halloween is in the budget, and the parents even put their own money in to make it even bigger, and the parents were all dressed up, and I had several students' parents come up to me, and it was really, really amazing. And so all of my experiences so far have been so positive. I know that some things coming to happen. It's not always going to be so smooth sailing, but everything is well. And so I had a really good day yesterday. I had a really good day today, and kind of ripped that band-aid of getting out and getting myself about. Nanjing is a small city compared to a Shanghai or a Beijing, but it's still a city of 9 million people. And so for me to even get a little bit out of my neighborhood and make it back safely was a big deal for me. So I hope you are enjoying these videos. I have several in the works. Once I fix up my apartment just the way I want it, I'll do another video. I'm going to do a video from school. I'm going to do a video of the grocery store, because that is always an adventure. And if you want to see something in particular, or you have a question about something, definitely let me know, and I will think of some things for future videos. So I hope everybody's doing all right, and I am going to go have a glass of wine and find something Halloweeny to watch. And so I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.